Maqam al-Ihsan, the final level of the religion. Islam, Iman, Ihsan, or Iman, Islam, Ihsan, as some narration of the hadith say. So what is Ihsan? If you ask 5 sheikhs, you're gonna get 5 different answers. Sheikh Hisham of Naqshbandi Tariqa explained Ihsan as Muraqabah and Mushahada. Fixing the incense here. Some good spirits. Sheikh Ibrahim Niyas described Ihsan as Muraqabah, Mushahada, Ma'rifah. You ask the Qadiriyas, they have up to 20 stations. I don't know how many of them are in Ihsan. So many different people, so many different definitions of the stations of Ihsan. So who is right and who is wrong? What I can do is I can share my experience. Okay? Ihsan is the time when you have to put the knowledge aside. Ihsan is the time where all of these books that you might have, you have studied so much, it's time for you to put all of it aside. Doesn't mean remove everything that you know or you should hate knowledge or something. No, that's not what it means. That's not what it means. So it's the time to put aside the books and dedicate to one path and meditate. Ihsan is, if I would explain Ihsan in one word, is meditation. One word, meditation. Awareness, observation, meditation. It's all about meditation. So this is the state where you have to start meditating. And the only theory you need in Ihsan is to know yourself. That's all. Ihsan is all about meditation. And the only theory you need is to know yourself. Get familiar with yourself. So Ihsan is the time where, just as an illustration, all these books, the mystical secrets of the last day, Maulana Sheikh Nazim, let's put it aside for a second, is Beyond Good and Evil, Friedrich Nietzsche, let's put it aside a second. Destruction of the Lower Self, Abdullah Sufi, Sheikh Sufi, let's put it aside for a second. Ibn Arabi, let's put it aside a second. Removal of confusion, Sheikh Ibrahim Niyas, let's put it aside for a second. Psychology of the Unconscious, Carl Jung, let's put it all aside for a second. Psychological Types by Carl Jung, this is the foundations of the Myers-Briggs 16 types. Let's put it aside for a second. Yes, even stations of the religion where they discuss Muraqabah, Mushahada and Ma'rifah. Let's put it aside a second. Let's put all the book aside and let's meditate. And let's learn about the most important book. You see, these are books of men, some of which are seekers who are trying to know themselves. That's very, 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 very good. That's very good, all these books. But in Ihsan, it's time for you to know yourself. So this is all good. It's beautiful. And we are going to get back to the books when we are deeper in Ihsan. But when we travel in the maqams of Ihsan, we put the books aside. And it's time for you to know yourself. It's time for you to know yourself. The maqams, when you are in the early stages, they are absolute truths. They are hard, they are tangible, and they are unquestionable because they come from the kutub, and the kutub speaks the words of Allah, and that is absolutely true. When you get to Iman, the maqams, the 9 maqams, they start becoming more like guidelines. When you come to Ihsan, eventually there comes a point in that journey where you have to let go of all of these thoughts, because they are theories by different people, and different people have different theories. You ultimately can create your own theories, but we'll get to that. So how I would describe Ihsan is that there is only one maqam in Ihsan, and that is you knowing yourself. And there is no path there. There is no trajectory. There is no safe steps to walk that this person have walked these steps and I can just follow exactly how he has done and I will reach there. Most people will not reach there, but it is possible to reach there. And the way you can reach there is through meditation. This is from Al-Jazali, quoted by Sering Tuba in Masalik al-Jinan. And if you walk even in Tijani path, when you get to Ihsan, it will be a pure meditation, a lot of meditation. So when you come here, it's time to put the theories aside and the books aside and start putting all the effort and energy and hard work on ourselves. So we are read what others think, but now it's time to learn about ourselves. And find the divine within ourselves. This is Ihsan. And this is what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ meant when, if I commentate, when he said, if you can't see Allah, no, Allah sees you. Worship Allah as if you see Allah. Finding Allah within you. You can only do this by spending time with yourself. And if you want a guideline, a pointer on how do you know if I'm on the right path within Ihsan or so on in the process of meditation, what you need to learn is about your nafs. You need to learn about the self, how your self works. And the self, the nafs, is described in many different ways, in many different traditions. In Sufism it's called the self, the nafs, and is referred to in Quran al-Karim as nafs. In other traditions it's called the mind, observing or awareness in different parts of the mind. In other traditions it's called the monkey mind, but we are talking about the same reality. This is what we have to start getting familiar with when we meditate. The self or the mind. And to reach the ultimate goal, there is no path, there is no safe steps, there is no method, there is no model. Like Sheikh Ibrahim Niass said, an arif, you can't, someone who has read Marifah, there are no external signs, there are no absolute rules that you can use to know. And inshallah in the future, if you get to these levels, you will know what this means. Hopefully this is helpful. Anything true from this video is from Allah, anything wrong is from the self. I didn't say myself, I said the self, the nafs, the ultimate false creation. Hopefully this is helpful. Assalamu alaikum.